Hi, a very good day to one and all. Welcome to this webinar. And today's topic is called A Complete Guide Reversing Eczema Through the Holistic Nutritional Approach. My name is Lydia Ling. It is my great pleasure to be able to host you to give you an overview about how eczema can be a highly preventable and a highly reversible condition, contrary to what many people have believed, right? If I tell you that eczema is something can be overcome, I hope that it is something good for you and it will give you a lot of hope and encouragement. As you take a look at this picture, I don't know what comes to your mind, but I hope I'm not giving you, a view that I am into both field in terms of the medical medication as opposed to a lot of food, natural, colorful food that you are seeing. Basically, this picture means to me that my role, it always inspires me to always remember my role. My role is to educate people on the sound fundamentals of dietary lifestyle changes, a more holistic, safer, and effective method of dealing with eczema and many other ill health factors. Eventually, I hope that the people can take charge of their own health, and even if they're on medication, like what you see on the left-hand side, particularly also for today, the topic on eczema, I'll be sharing with you what are some of the medications that eczema patients are taking and what are the purposes and also the side effect that they have to be wary of. And my role will be eventually, hopefully, to be able to provide the education and the practical resources for you so that you can take charge of your health to reverse it without drugs eventually. As you can see that food is our best medication. For those of you who have just joined us for the very first time, just in case I'm not familiar to you, my name is Lydia Ling. I am a holistic health consultant. My area of training is in nutrition. So I hope that this session will be able to give you an idea and a kickstart towards a healthier body, and I hope a recovery from eczema. The information presented here today is for educational purpose only. This is not a prescription for self-diagnosis or self-medication. Please consult your physician regarding the application of any opinion and recommendation with respect to your symptoms or medical conditions. First of all, eczema is a term known to a lot of lay people on the street. But in a medical way, in terms of the medical diagnosis, even the official name of eczema called dermatitis in itself has got a lot of differentiation. Some call it atopic dermatitis, some may call it namula, some call it seborrheic, irritant, contact, and allergic kind of eczema. But whatever names they are, I hope that for us lay people, the good news is this: we don't really have to be bothered about the complications or the very sophisticated medical name for the different types of dermatitis. You just need to know that the root causes are similar. How it manifests, and there may be some intertwined or overlapping reasons, but at the end of the day, once you understand the root causes and you know how to practically work on reversing them through a more holistic and natural way, you will be amazed that, call it whatever it is. Dermatitis, or in this sense, from now on, I'm going to use the term eczema, which is more layman. It's a highly preventable, highly curable condition. I'm not here to promise you healing, but I'm just going to share with you the experiences that I have and the testimonies and the people, number of cases that have gotten well as a result of our nutritional protocol. The definition of dermatitis means chronic pruritic inflammatory skin condition. Pruritic meaning that there is when it comes, or when the symptom attacks the person will have this urgent urge of itch and the tendency to scratch it. The symptoms of eczema are dry and itchy skin with scaling, flaking, thickening, weeping. Weeping means that this liquid keep drawing out, crusting, lesions. There's a very severe situation where the skin, the outer skin has been damaged and is exposed to bacteria. Scarring and of course color changes as a result of the scarring. As you can see in the different pictures I've shown you, that these are the different shapes and forms and at the different areas where eczema typically happen in most cases. Before we understand how to overcome atopic eczema, or we call it AE, we also need to first understand the root causes of eczema. Once you understand the root causes of eczema, you will realize that you can be reoriented into the path that is more promising for you to really deal at the root causes of the eczema rather than to just settling it for a short-term symptomatic treatment that has got a lot long-term side effects, which I'm going to share with you. The root causes of eczema are these: hypochlorhydria, which is a low stomach acid. That means to say there is a disruption in the the stomach acid that is causing the impact or the slowing down of digestion. So in a layman term, the body, the stomach is not able to properly digest the different kind of food. So the food particles actually actually go through the intestinal tract and go through the bloodstream, and therefore it causes a breakout in the allergic condition involving the blood and the liver. Leaky gut is another very, very common root cause of eczema. And in most cases, it's got to do with prolonged treatment or a recent treatment of antibiotic as a side effect. So I'm going to talk about the damaging effect of conventional antibiotics that are usually prescribed for eczema patients to no improvement in most cases. Depleted intestinal flora, that means there's lack of friendly bacteria. And I think this also got to do with the antibiotics depleting the friendly bacteria. And that's one common side effect of antibiotics. So by now, you know that one of the main culprit or the root causes of eczema got to do with antibiotic treatments that we hope that the people can be more wary and avoid them if possible. Food allergies and food sensitivities is an outcome of this gut that's not doing well. Blood toxicity, liver toxicity. Yes, the other thing is candidiasis, which is a yeast infection, or in layman term, we call it the fungal infection. Then there's this long name called the cutaneous barrier dysfunction. Basically, it's a damage of the skin layer on the outer layer where there is this breakdown of the protein layer called the filaggrin. And when that's damaged, right, the skin becomes very, very inflamed, very sensitive, and very raw. Then there is this lack of enzymes, or we call it the weakness in enzyme delta 6 desaturase. So the lack of enzyme and the way we are eating a lot of cooked food and a lot of food that are not supportive for our digestion can deplete our enzyme reserve as well. So that's one major cause of eczema. Genetic and immunity dysfunction. Yes, I think we cannot deny the fact that in many cases, some people have a genetic weakness, in that sense that I do see that if the father has it, sometimes or in many cases, the next generation do get eczema or get very sensitive with the skin as well. So one of the things that we are always advising people, even if they have a genetic weakness in eczema in the family, the good news is this: before the father or the mother plan for this pregnancy or conception, it's always good to consider doing a body overhaul called a proper detoxification, just to break that genetic weakness. So epigenetic can change. I hope that's good news for all of us. Now, the other thing about genetic factors is that we always advise pregnant women to always make sure that they have enough reserve of enzymes even through the whole pregnancy, and that could potentially slow down or avoid the genetic factors in the newborn. Systemic toxicity, environmental toxins, and stress, these are the causes of atopic eczema. Now, there are basically commonly known paths that people take. In fact, I would think that the most common path that people take is the first one, which is a more symptomatic treatment, convenient, conventional medical path, using steroids, antibiotic, antihistamines to basically suppress or control the condition. Is this healing? I beg to differ. I want to share with you that there is a higher, safer, and a better path to deal with eczema. And the whole approach about a safe and effective dealing with the true root causes and truly potentially get eczema well would be to look into the approach that is not only treating the symptom or camouflaging the symptom, but treat the whole body, treat all the cells, the tissues, the organs, and of course the skin as well. And to remove these root causes, it may take a longer time, a less convenient way, but I'm sure it will be something that is safer, more natural, that not only provides permanent recovery from all kinds of skin conditions, including eczema. As a whole, I think the person can look forward to a supercharged and overhaul body that can give overall improvement in health and a stronger immunity that will be able to naturally overcome and even prevent the further episode or flare up of eczema. I want to just compare with you in a very broad stroke the two ways that people are dealing with their eczema. On the left-hand side, you see the conventional path. I think most of us, for sometimes due to convenience, sometimes we just want to be in a hurry to quickly suppress and control the symptom, or if a person is not able to function well, the tendency is to be going to the medical path. Well, the common drugs prescribed for eczema patients are antihistamine, corticosteroids, antibiotics, immunosuppressant for people who are into very, very advanced stage of eczema, leading to psoriasis and leading to even autoimmune disease or the complete breakdown of the body's own immune system. And so when the medical side, the medical ways, right, really runs out of ideas or no other drugs to treat already, then the final stage, of course, will be to put the patient through immunosuppressant medications, which I want to share with you their purpose and also their effects that you want to think about. And in another way that is a very quick symptomatic treatment is people are going for phototherapy, or in the later years, right, I heard that people are migrating from phototherapy to even a LASIK treatment. Are they dealing with the root causes? Well, you really want to find out a little bit more through this talk, and I hope that you can make a more well-informed and a discerning decision at the end of it. The characteristic of conventional treatment, I'm not saying don't see doctors. Again, my role is not to tell people don't take medication. My role is to educate them and to hopefully within my best capacity and boundary to provide all the resources and the coaching, the knowledge, so that the person can really take charge of his own health. In the conventional path, it is pretty much practitioner driven. That means to say the patients sometimes don't even know how to ask questions. They thought, that's not their right to ask questions. Actually, a lot of patients don't know that right. They can ask questions and they can start to process about what they are taking. Is it bringing health or is it depleting the condition further? Fast acting but short-term benefits, and it can potentially lead to all hosts of complication and side effects, and the condition can become very, very severe and migrated to different other complications and conditions. On the other hand, we take a look at the nutritional and lifestyle path, which is what I am most passionate about and what I'm convicted about to want to bring about this awareness to people. It will call for more things like dietary changes, doing a proper detoxification, including optimum nutritional approach, like some very good quality hypoallergenic supplements can be added to compensate for any dietary and lifestyle shortfall. And then the other thing is also the eczema is also a lot of time triggered by a lot of external environmental toxins, like lifestyle that are not supportive or bringing a lot of stress and toxins to the body. And the other thing about eczema healing is that there are some other supportive adjuvant modalities without drugs that I'm going to share with you. The characteristics of this holistic nutritional path is this. It is more patient-led. That means to say you take charge, the person looking for solution, coming to us for solution. I hope they understand that our approach is not to provide treatment. We are basically educating them and providing whatever that's available at our center so that they have all the educational information on nutritional healing and all the resources and accessibility to really work on the nutritional path. It may take longer time to work because it's dealing with the root cause, and the healing for eczema basically work from inside out. And skin being the last organ to receive nutrients. So people need to understand that they have to be a bit more patient when they are working on true healing approach for eczema, because like I said, skin is it covers the whole body, so the areas is big. And the other thing about the skin is that healing will take from inside out. So the skin is the last organ to actually receive nutrients. So they need to understand that if they want to really have the best of the nutritional healing path. It's very safe, effective, possibly long-term permanent recovery and remission. And I think that I hope is good news, because on the other side, right, the conventional path, medically speaking, eczema is considered a non-incurable diseases. But here again, I keep seeing restoration, recovery after recovery. And that's why, I am just so excited today to be able to share with you, don't give up, even if you have eczema, there is hope. And so many people have gotten well, and I hope that this is the right place for you to look for your solution. Now, if you take a look at this common medical intervention as shown, I will just give you a few seconds to take a look at the right-hand column. You take a look at these side effects. Say, for example, histamine is usually prescribed to settle the itch, but it has got a lot of side effects: drowsiness, dry mouth, nausea, vomiting, restlessness. It can affect the eyesight in the long term, mental confusion because the person get very, foggy in the mind, drowsiness at the same time. The other thing is a steroid. Every time I see people coming to New Life or our center for help, I see, the eczema, what do you call it, the steroid treated skin. There are times when I just want to cry, because it's quite a sight to behold, a very, very sorry state to be in terms of the side effect of the steroid. So you want to really be very careful about it before you start on that remedy. And I hope that today's session will give you a better option, a higher path that you can take on, so that you don't have to be dependent on steroids if you have a better solution. Antibiotics, a lot of conditions of eczema actually started with antibiotics. And can you see the vicious cycle? The antibiotics are given or prescribed for patients having eczema, and yet eczema patients, they got worse because of antibiotics. So they are not seeing daylight. They get into this vicious stage of allergy after allergy, leaky gut after leaky gut, and all sorts of ill health factors and the complication as a result of antibiotics. Then in the late stage of eczema, patients where doctors have run out of all ideas, then immunosuppressant drug, which is in some cases it can be similar in the category of a cancer drug given to these eczema patients. And of course, phototherapy that can actually burn the skin. And you look at this side effect of phototherapy, prolonged use of phototherapy. Do your own research. Think about whether the risk is there. That could lead to skin cancer as a result of prolonged usage of LASIK treatment or phototherapy. Now, this is a book, if you would like to, read up very intensively on the risks of steroid. It says here, one reason why people extol the virtues of steroid without realizing the frightening truth. I tell you, steroid is really frightening. I will be showing you skin that have been treated with steroid. Then you see how severe it can wreck the whole immune system and damage the skin further. The frightening truth about steroid is that their side effects do not emerge immediately. That's why it's such like a magical wand. People are, at the slightest itch, flare up and all that, they don't have time to think. All that they want is just settle the symptoms and all that. Steroids can eat up the bones. Steroid can cause more leaky gut. It can cause a lot of chemical imbalances and a lot of toxicity to the kidneys, to the liver. And there were children, I work with a doctor, a medical doctor, a pediatric doctor who believe in nutritional healing. So she is my good friend. So she always sent her patients to see me, especially those with a lot of skin problem. And when I see these kids being treated with steroid, my heart just sank, because I think these kids will grow up having a lot of complications. They get very stunted, their moon face, and then they get into very, very severe case of eczema, leading to many other complications, including breakdown of the immune system called juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, that can result as a result of the complication of steroid treatment. So you want to find out more about a steroid before you actually embark on it. Now, why am I suggesting to you that it is better for you, for us to look into the holistic nutritional and lifestyle approach? First of all, understanding why it is better, safer, and more effective, that actually looks into healing the root causes. Right from the start, I actually show you a whole list of root causes of eczema. And I want to break them down into 5 aspects in terms of the remedy that can actually once and for all actually settle these root causes. First of all, you know that toxicity, liver toxicity from environmental sources, internal sources can develop, and that can cause a blood poisoning, and the liver get sick, and then therefore eczema, and then the colon get very sluggish at the same time. So the very first aspect of eczema healing for people to look into, number 1, is to really look into where are the chemicals and the antigen loads coming from. Internally, it can be the stress, it can be the medication they are taking, these are chemicals, right? And it can be the alcohol, it can be the diet full of chemical preservatives and coloring flavorings and what have you. Externally, there are also antigen load. For example, our fumigation around us, the haze, the smoke around us, the paint, the varnish, and the household sprays and all that. And every day we are just exposed to this chemical, intake from inside and outside. And no wonder, it becomes a vicious cycle over time. So look into your diet, lifestyle, and environment, which I will break down for you in a short while. The other thing, step number 2, is to look into healing the colon first. For healing to take place, we have to first look up into the colon, because 70% of the whole body immune system depends on the colon health, and then detoxify and remove the toxins from the gut. So that's one. Third step, look into the liver health. The liver is a very, very important organ that has got more than 500 functions. One of the functions of the liver is to purify our blood. So eczema got to do with a lot of allergens, a lot of histamine floating all over the blood. And therefore, taking into the steps to work on reversing and detoxifying the liver sluggishness and toxins and restoring it back to health is one major step of eczema healing. So we're going to talk about eczema healthcare later. Rejuvenate. Then after you eliminate, detoxify, you need to rejuvenate. It's the replacement. You know what to remove, you need to know what to replace. The replacement part will be a lot of high power phytonutrients, all the vitamins, enzymes, minerals, and a lot of nutrients that are actually built towards nourishing and rebuilding the cells and the tissues, including the skin, back to health. And then the other part of it is I do believe that optimum nutrition will help to accelerate and support faster healing for eczema healing. So I do believe in dietary changes and all that, but I think realistically we are not able to eat a perfect diet. We need to work, we have family to look after, sometimes we have to eat out and what have you. So whenever dietary and lifestyle have shortfalls, I find optimum nutrition through some very sound and safe non-allergic, non-chemical filled kind of whole food supplement and natural supplements will be a very, very viable options to promote healing. And I think for that reason, when we cover all these aspects, it is no wonder that in New Life, we have seen so many people getting well from eczema. If I were to show you the number of photos, I probably need the whole day to show you all the cases that I handled. But today I kind of consolidated a few cases that I have most recently handled, and I want to present it to you for you to really take a look. Why go for nutritional healing? Because it's based on natural healing. Principle number one, the body can self-heal, self-repair, self-rejuvenate when we give the body a chance to heal. So this is very contrary to the conventional path. Basically, those professional who are trained in the medical field, they have this idea that eczema is incurable and therefore, drug is the only way. But we beg to differ in the sense that we always believe that once you understand the root, you know where the root causes to remove, and you know what are the right things to put for the body, you just allow the body inbuilt immune system to heal by itself. Natural healing principle number two, the root causes of diseases, including eczema, are toxemia and nutritional deficiency. Again, very simple. Just remove the toxins and then put in the nutrients that the body needs and give it some time for the body to heal by itself. And when we understand eczema, we just how it developed, right? We need to understand it has got to do with toxemia. Toxins build up internally and externally, and nutritional deficiency. And therefore, these toxins are accumulated in the body. The body's own immune system want to throw it out, right? It's a frantic effort to get rid of the toxin, and the skin is basically one channel of elimination that shows up that the body's own immune system is giving a warning sign and say, okay, there's a rash, there's an itch, there is an eczema or psoriasis, or even for that matter, a pimple. Do something about it. And why? Because these are manifestation of symptoms, but the root causes got to do with toxin and nutritional deficiency. And basically we understand in the broad stroke, it's got to do with a depressed immune system as a result of many causes, but I think most of them are due to unhealthy diet and unhealthy lifestyle. How effective is this New Life nutritional program for eczema? I want to share with you two stories. There are so many other things that I should put in, but because of space limitation and time limitation, I will just share on the main insights of Miss Chiu, who actually is progressing very well. Miss Chiu called me, I think that was sometime in October. That was a time when we had this lockdown. She told me that she is back to Malaysia, but not able to go back hometown. She had to stay in KL with her sister. And then she had this, she sent me SMSs of her skin problem. But overall, she not only had very severe eczema that migrated to psoriasis, she also knew that she was overweight. Her BMI was 40.1. She had hormonal imbalance in the form of a few fibroids. So one day she said that when she was cutting her nails, fingernail, she cut her flesh with a nail clipper. So one of the things I asked her when she showed me this picture on the finger was your nail clipper rusty? If it's rusty, you need to be very, very cautious that you don't break out into fever, because that can be the rust that go into the bloodstream, right? Through the skin can cause blood poisoning. That can be very fatal. So she was already very familiar with the New Life program. And she said, okay, then I told her, okay, you need to up a few things. And I think the best is to do a full Dr. Lin Tan's detoxification and rejuvenation program. And at the same time, not only her finger, during that time, right, her finger from the bum here, it migrated upward into this part from the finger. It spread to this part, as you can see on the top of the second row. Then you take a look at the bottom part. That is 23rd of October, just about 3 months ago. Her skin was in a very, very bad stage. That was at the back of her leg, the calf area. So I told her, do Dr. Lin's detoxification, and I gave her a nutritional protocol, which actually involved those things that I mentioned, including, the 5 steps that I talked to you about. And within a very short period of time, she was happy. On the 12th of November, she sent me the photo to show me on the same spot where the eczema or psoriasis started. It's like, almost like, to me, 75–80% healed. And then about 2–3 weeks later, she sent me another photo of her progress. Can you see the finger? No more water retention, no more inflammation, and like the new skin coming back. Then on the 19th December, there was less than 1 month ago, she showed me the picture. Can you see how beautiful her skin is right now? Very soft baby skin, and her water retention, and then the scarrings are like almost gone. Not only that, when she was doing our detoxification program that incorporated, that was incorporated with eczema healing, she told me that at that time she was already familiar with intermittent fasting. And New Life, we have a very, very good session on intermittent fasting by Joyce, our expert in intermittent fasting. You got to get a hold of the video to learn how to rejuvenate your health in a very simple way that's less intensive than the detox. So incorporating the New Life detox program with the health building program, and she was already familiar with our intermittent fasting method, right? She lost 21.9 kilo between May to 20th of December. Can you see how holistic, we are not treating eczema here. We are healing the whole body, including restoring back the metabolic rate and the BMI. So I hope that gives you an idea that eczema is, no matter how severe it is, don't give up. There is hope. Come and talk to us. We'll guide you through. I want to share with you another story of Kelly's. When Kelly's came to see me back early part of 2019 in February, I saw that, she is very beautiful. She has actually on parts that had got no eczema. Her skin is really like crystal clear on other parts. But because of her eczema and psoriasis, she was like red all over and angry, the raw skin all over the face, the chest, and then the other parts of the body. But for simplicity's sake, I just show you her external part. As we talk about her health goal, I try to understand where her disease was rooted. Then I realized a very, very big part got to do with her dependence on steroid for many years, more than 14 years, if I'm not wrong. So she reached a stage of having steroid withdrawal. On the one hand, she got to be dependent on it. On the other hand, she cannot tolerate it anymore because of the side effect. The bones will ache, and then her skin will get worse and worse and worse. And then every time the steroid is prescribed, right, she needs stronger and stronger dosage. Then she also confessed to me at the age of 39, how nice it would be, and it is her wish and her husband's wish to have a second baby. Yeah, so she said that she wants to have a natural and healthy conception if at all possible. So I told her, yes, it is possible on this side, but not necessarily on that side, because doctors will usually warn patients not to be pregnant if they're on steroid treatment or maybe other or on drugs that are that could potentially cause a birth defect. But lo and behold, that's the steroid is behind her. 15 years of steroid, topical and oral, no more dependent on it. She did our detoxification program that I'm going to share with you. February 17, she sent me. That was first week into the DRP, Dr. Lin Tan detoxification and rejuvenation program. The second week, can you see how her healing ration got well? And from that point onwards, she need not take any more steroid and up to this day. And then after she did her DRP, she continued to just do her general clean and deal, which I'll explain to you later, regular coffee enema. And I told her you have to take your enzyme, vitamin C and vitamin B to prevent the stress and, to heal continue to heal the skin. And March 2019, she wrote to me very excited. You can see, a part of the message. No longer on steroid since, skin healing very well and glowing. And then she said, Lydia, I really, thank you for guiding me and supporting me on this amazing journey. I want to say thank you and I owe you a big hug. So every time when people say, oh, Lydia, thank you for giving me the resources and knowledge, I always look to them and say, yeah, I celebrate and I'm really thankful to see you well. But at the end of the day, I think thank God, that you have a miracle body. They can self-heal, self-repair, and self-rejuvenate. And I say, you got to thank yourself. More important is that you thank yourself for giving yourself a chance to heal and learn to take charge of your own health. Then after she was pregnant, she did not tell me until she was about 3 months pregnant. So that's a Chinese culture, right? But it's stable after the first trimester, then you announce to people. She texted me telling me that she was pregnant. So she wanted me to give her a guide on pregnancy. and how to, prepare for the childbirth naturally. 3 months pregnant, conceived naturally. Can you see? This is from a body that have been, treated with so many years of steroid, 15 years. And within such a short period of time, between February starting the DRP, that means if she was 3 months pregnant in October, that means to say by sometime in July, she was pregnant already. Only 5 months to undo all the damage that's been done in her body for the last 15 years. So you see how powerful the body can heal itself by itself. Then April, she sent me a baby's photo, her baby boy, very healthy, 7 over pound, I believe, and very natural kind of a birth. So I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that eczema can heal by itself. The next thing I want to talk about is the first step, right? The major step is called to remove the chemicals and the antigen load. The diet that we would advise that is very, very supportive for eczema healing. Again, my role is not to give you all the detail. I hope you can attend the part 2 of this eczema session, because next Saturday, which is on the 16th of January, our food expert, Lisa Sophia, will be giving you a webinar and a workshop, bringing you to her kitchen and showing you how to eat to be eczema free. And she herself got well from her psoriasis as well. Organic, ideally plant-based. I think in any healing method, if you can go organic as much as possible. But if your budget doesn't allow it, that's fine. You try to do your best to minimize all the chemical antigen load. And of course, if you are not able to be very foolproof, and at least you know that there's still a possibility to heal, because you can actually do a detoxification to quicken the whole removal or the detoxification of these chemicals in the body and antigen overload. Try to eat out of the plant-based diet at least 50% raw, especially from the fruits and vegetable, family salad, and raw fruits. Phytonutrients, take a lot of greens, yellow color, green color, and orange color. So you know that carrot juice is one of the top healing food for eczema because of the beta carotene. Yeah, and they are also loaded with enzymes, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-allergic kind of a component. Fresh and live vegetable and fruit juices is a mainstay, one of the staple for people like us who are choosing the natural path as well as for all the more for eczema patients. Select food, natural whole food, they are very high in vitamin C, vitamin E, anti-inflammatory, anti-allergy, antioxidant. Vitamin E is very good for anti-scarring, and zinc is very good for healing the tissue very fast. Bioflavonoid, lemon, your citrus, orange, those are very high in bioflavonoid, and a lot of plant food, they are very rich in quercetin. It's very important to stay gluten-free for as long as you have eczema, because the gliding in the gluten, usually eczema patients find difficult to digest. Cold pressed good fats, I would say top of the list would be flaxseed oil. So go for the New Life flaxseed oil, 1 tablespoon 2 times a day is all you need. In very, very severe cases, we may just recommend 3 tablespoons for 2 to 3 weeks only. Deep cold water fish, well, it depends. Although I think the essential fatty acid in deep cold water fish like salmon are supportive, we want to be also balancing the fact that to promote faster healing, it is ideally we advise going on a plant-based diet. That means to say you go for flaxseed oil versus fish oil, which is much more healing and better. It doesn't burden your digestive tract. Now, the other thing is that if your choice is not to be a vegetarian, we have to respect that. But even so, you want to take it very, very moderately during this process time. So you want to cut out all animal meat, want to cut out shellfish and seafood, fish, very moderately. But ideally, if you can remove, you eat it only for maybe more for emotional health rather than to rebuilding, to rebuild your health. Then we talk about diet that are very, very triggering for eczema. A lot of patients get triggered right after they touch some of this food. So you have to test it out. Peanuts and tree nuts. Gluten, as I mentioned, you have to be very determined to take out gluten. You'll be amazed how fast your eczema can heal. Dairies like commercial cow's milk, cheese, except for New Life yogurt, it's very supportive, and usually about 98% or so of people who have eczema, they tolerate homemade yogurt made from New Life organic cow's milk. Eggs is one of the common trigger factor for eczema, especially nowadays. The eggs are loaded with a lot of hormones and antibiotics, so we want to be very careful about it. Soy, especially the GMO and non-fermented kind of a process, commercial soy. Wheat, because of the gluten as well. Shellfish, catfish, and codfish. You may wonder, codfish is supposed to be a deep cold water fish, so there should be a lot of essential fatty acid. But in the category of eczema healing, we find that codfish, there is some percentage of people who are particularly allergic to codfish as well. Salmon works better for most people, but there's no hard and fast rule. If you don't think you are allergic to codfish, then you may enjoy it moderately if you choose not to be a vegetarian. But if you find that you eat it and that your skin become more sensitive, then you may want to lay off for a while until you're well. Chocolate, processed food, commercial seasoning, coloring, preservative flavorings, hydrogenated fats, deep fried food, cooking oil. These are really detrimental for eczema condition. Red meat, because they're very acidic forming, very clogging for the gut, very difficult to digest. So we advise taking off red meat like pork, beef, and lamb for people with eczema. So the guide that we have in New Life is basically, I just give you a broad stroke, a standard, and I'll break down into some of the adjuvant. Do a 1 week or 2 weeks of Dr. Lin Tan's 7 days detoxification and rejuvenation program, followed by 3 to 6 months of the New Life Health Building Program found on page 25 of the booklet. The diet will be, again, a whole food vegetarian during this healing period, plant-based, omit salt, sugar, cooking oil, commercial seasoning, and processed food. So that is just to give you an idea how to give your body a break to kickstart healing. And I am particularly amazed by the experience and the wisdom of Dr. Lin designing this very complete. You cannot find it elsewhere, I promise you, in that sense. It's hard to find a program that's so well designed and so complete to completely overhaul the entire body. This program basically, in a very short and effective manner, within 7 days, people start to see a lot of improvement. Cater to removing all the toxins from our human body's 7 elimination organs. So when our organs are stuck, that's where toxins start to build up and we get sick. Colon, the liver, the blood, definitely has got a big relationship to eczema healing. Lungs, kidneys, the skin, lymphatic drainage. Lymph nodes being very congested is one of the big culprit of people with eczema. So doing lymphatic drainage is also very one important aspect of eczema healing, to supercharge the whole digestive tract and to entirely overhaul the body. So this booklet, we have it in 3 languages, English, Chinese, and Bahasa. If you want to have a e-copy, please keep in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to send that to you. But if you want to buy a hard copy, please talk to your friends who invited you, or if you're already familiar with New Life, you can have access at the counter. So we talk about detoxification, and 70% of the body is water. In New Life, we subscribe to taking pure water, in chemistry term called H2O, which is basically distilled water. And that's very important because distilled water copy the nature's hydrological system, a very simple purification of the water as we see in God's creation. Nature has it for us already, distilled water, but the air pollution and the industrialization is causing us pollution in the air, right? It's causing us not to be able to take rainwater anymore. So what we want to do is to go into setting up a distillation process, a distiller in our kitchen, to ensure that our family, and even for people who are into eczema, health and restoration, or even for the matter, any condition, including cancer, yeah, to drink distilled water. You can see the amount of contaminations from the top and the bottom part on the left hand side of this screen. You can see this chlorine, the plastic, the rust, the stones, the metal. So when we are collecting all this residue from the distiller, we can't help but to be amazed that seeing is really believing, right? In this case, that you see how much of the toxins and the plastics that we are drinking from the water source. So when we do electrolysis, we see the water turning black, rusty, and all that. So we do have a very good video that will show you the demo of the different kinds of water and to explain to you the truth and the knowledge behind why we advocate distilled water. And it's very important for you, especially when you are restoring your health or doing detoxification, because water is going to help you detoxify and to hydrate, and it has got this many important functions. So please check out our health talk on webinar on water, or anytime you can just talk to your friend in New Life, log in and download the video that we made for you to educate you on water. So we want minerals from the food or get in the organic forms, like our fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts, not from the stones and rock. They are not meant for human consumption. They are meant for the plants, okay? So important, change your drinking water into distilled water. So these are the two models that we have available to help you set up your natural kitchen countertop, or the fully automatic heavy duty 15 liters, okay? The countertop is for 4-liter portable. So this distilled water, very important. So let me zoom into the steps towards healing eczema. Step number 1, colon is very important, yeah? Restore your gastrointestinal tract. Make sure that you remove the barrier, whatever allergen loads that lining up the colon that's causing all the toxicity and the allergic reaction. Clean up the whole intestinal tract. And then put back all the leaky gut holes that was due to usually for people with leaky gut. They have very porous this gut. We call it the intestinal permeability has been sluggish. So in layman term, it's called leaky gut. We have to heal leaky gut first before we talk about other things, right? And then the next thing is to put back and repopulate the intestinal flora. So step number 1 is to take care of your colon health. Why are we talking about colon health? Because 70% of how well eczema or how fast eczema will heal will really depends on this, because that determines 70% of the body's immune system. As you can see that the colon, basically, when we are stuck with all the toxins, the fecal matter, the waste that not cleared, and crustaceans are stuck there, that's where a lot of complications, not only for skin, it can attack and be very systemic. Systemic means that go through the bloodstream and hit the different kinds of organs. So when people get well from eczema, like for Miss Chu's case, right, it's not only the eczema or psoriasis that she wanted to, that she got well, she also could, it's in a process of restoring back her hormonal balance. Like Kelly's case, hormone is back to balance, and therefore she could naturally conceive. So this program is not for eczema. It's really to treat the whole body, and including the skin. So I want to show you a video on colonoscopy. Just a few minutes to tell you that you least suspect it, but what's going on in the colon actually is related to all the A to Z medical conditions that we are having. So enjoy the video. you saw that. Did you also see candidiasis? You saw skin allergies, all started in the gut. So that's where health begins, and we have to start cleaning out our gut, which is part of the Dr. Linton's detoxification and rejuvenation program. It says here, the gut is the place where health or illness is born. It is the holding tank of our life energy, and treating it well is the first step towards a healthier life. And this is the very first step towards eczema healing as well. So this is a book inside the track that you can find out more. So how do we provide the support for gastrointestinal tract health? It's a very simple package that we have called the New Life, very well known GI, gastrointestinal tract health pack. Consists of herbal cleanse, powder, apple cider vinegar, honey, immune flora. Remember the repopulate the intestinal flora, and vitamin C, which is anti-allergy, antihistamine, antioxidant, immune boosting, and promote skin healing as well. So to do the herbal cleanse in a full detox program, depends, you can do between 1 to 2 weeks. Again, don't worry about the duration and whatnot, because you can always keep in touch with us or with Leon, our nutritional consultant at our center, right? But herbal cleanse, you can take 1 heaped teaspoon, which is to help to clean the colon and remove the incrustation and a lot of waste that's been accumulating in the whole 30 feet of the human whole digestive tract. First 1 to 2 weeks, you can take about 4 to 5 times, and thereafter you can maintain 2 times a day. So that's how simple it is to do colon cleansing. You just need to put in 1 teaspoon honey, 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, a glass of distilled water, and then 1 heaped teaspoon of the herbal cleanse. So what you can actually expect is that why is this herbal cleanse so healing for eczema? Because it's going to remove all the allergen, the chemical and the chemicals, right, accumulated, the putrefied food, the fermented food, everything that's lying up in the whole intestinal tract will have to be peeled off, so that when this is one major load of the body, to be able to properly detoxify and start to digest nutrients, because nutritional deficiency is another big culprit of eczema as well. That's why when the skin is not getting the right nutrients, it's just somehow, you know, not looking good and not glowing. Remove the accumulated incrustation, reduces the gastrointestinal toxicity. Remember, eczema got to do with GI toxicity as well. Regulate the blood cholesterol, triglyceride, and normalize the blood sugar. Elimination of the bowel acid, and therefore it start to work on the liver as well, preventing their accumulation in the GI tract and start to move bowel and remove incrustations. This is a lady doing our detox program, 49 years old, very, very congested. See how she passed out the incrustation, years of accumulations, 3 batches over 2 days. So she did our herbal cleanse 5 times a day, 4 to 5 times a day for a couple of weeks, and then finally she was so happy to just send me the photos early in the morning. The first batch came out, and she passed it off, and then she felt so good, and then start seeing, you know, slim down and many other areas of improvement. So over the years, right, our herbal cleanse or GI health pack have helped so many people kickstart towards a healthier body by detoxifying as the colon, as what you can see here, the incrustations. Apple cider vinegar is humble yet very powerful drink because it's very, very loaded with a lot of amino acid and pectin. Malic acid helps in digestion. Remember, low stomach acid is one of the root causes of eczema. So malic acid actually is naturally occurring in apple cider vinegar, help us to actually properly digest and absorb our vitamins. Potassium is very high, minerals and trace minerals. So it's from New Zealand, organically grown, tree ripened Motueka Mountain Nelson apple. So it's a top quality apple cider vinegar. And it's very important for us to make our body very alkaline forming. Apple cider, lemon juice, and pineapples are very supportive for eczema healing. You see, they are sour. We call them the acidic food, but they're very, very alkaline forming after digestion. Helps to improve digestion, pick up calcium, sustain the bone mass, And why apple cider vinegar is so particularly helpful for people who want a rejuvenation and detoxification, including eczema, is because it helps to remove the waste and the toxic acidic waste as well as the toxins from the body, relieve gout pain, arthritis pain, and joint stiffness. And because it's very alkaline forming, it's therefore able to help the body balance its pH level. And we don't advise taking sugar because refined sugar is one of the trigger for skin diabetes and skin allergic condition and low immunity as well. So we are putting in pure raw organic honey. And one of the benefits is that it helps to remove pesticides and heavy metal in the bloodstream and in the gut as well. So that's very, very supportive and healing for eczema and all sorts of condition as well. So then when we talk about repopulating the intestinal flora, it's done by achieved by taking the immune flora to re-establish the intestinal microflora to ensure that the friendly bacteria outweigh the good bad bacteria. The good bacteria outweigh the bad bacteria. And it's so important for people with eczema to make sure they have intestinal flora, because a very big part of the complication got to do, and it actually started with antibiotic treatment, and antibiotic treatments will wipe out all the good bacteria as well as the bad bacteria. So one of the things like, the overgrowth of pathogenic bacteria and parasites. So parasites and eczema are correlated as well. It's all about the gut that has gone haywire. It boosts our body's immune system, cell repair, cell rejuvenate the cells within the body, improve the nutrients assimilation and absorption, and cleanses and detoxify the intestinal tract. So you can see how simple, even if a person cannot do the full detox, they should actually consider doing just these few steps, like, the colon cleansing and the immune flora, and that will, help to kickstart at least, 50% of the energy should come back, once we do our colon cleansing. Then the second part of this, the component of the detox will, we clean the colon, right? The next step is to nourish and rebuild healthy cells so that the old cells get pushed out from the skin, the blood, the lymph nodes, and then through the skin. There is this skin renewal. A very big part of amazing effect that we are seeing for skin healing for people who do a program is this: their skin will end up like flaky, one piece, flaking out, drying out, and then drop off like a snake skin. And they see this whole pile of dry and dead cells in the skin quickly being removed. And after that, there is this new renewal of the skin, and the baby skin actually comes on. So I'm going to show you more pictures of skin healing in a short while. So this step 2 of nourish and build involve 3 very essential nutrients that we take in during the detox time as well as a maintenance time on a day-to-day basis. First of all is a health drink that will provide for the body the complete spectrum, like a multivitamins, minerals in the most organic, whole food, natural form that has got higher availability compared to just a multivite tablet, which are just extract. That's why New Life, our multivite is not in a, like, extract from less natural. Ours is really the super green food, which is derived from many types of whole food put together, retaining the enzymes and nutrients. So you need the antioxidant as well. You need the enzymes as well for healing and tissue and cell nourishment. Then you have the tissue building, in the form of spirulina, phytonutrients, digestible protein, beta carotene, and iron. And then, of course, the other thing that's very, very important for people to understand, part of the symptoms of eczema got to do with cracking, dry, itchy skin, right? The more dry, the more flaky the skin is, the more itchy, the more painful, and more it cracks. And then it becomes a vicious cycle. Because one of the major lack of eczema got to do with essential fatty acid. And then in the whole world, the best essential fatty acid, omega-3 in the plant-based form, comes from flaxseed oils. So it's very important for you to understand that you need a therapeutic dosage of flaxseed oil in the form of 2 tablespoons a day. Anti-inflammatory, anti-allergy, skin healing, and very, very moisturizing. The moment I see eczema patients taking the flaxseed oil, very soon I start to see a new shine and glow. And then the flaky skin may drop off for a while, and then very soon they stop, the old cells completely shed off, and then the new cells, there is this complete cellular renewal and become very soft and baby skin. Immune boosting and anti-cancer as well because of lignin. So flaxseed oil is one very important aspect of essential fatty acid, not only for eczema patients, but also for very sickly patients, including cancer. So the health drinks, it's basically a juice. A juice can be 2 carrot, green apple. You can put some lemon. I suggest you might want to also consider taking in the detox program, you have for the 1 to 2 weeks, there are 4 juices with this super green food and K salt. You might want to do like 2 carrot and green apple forms 2 glasses of the juices, and the other 2 may be a lot of green juices are very supportive because of the phytonutrients and the chlorophyll inside the green vegetable juices. Can be a variety that you want to enjoy. Putting in K salt and super green food, that forms the health drink to nourish, rebuild, and make sure that your body cells are not in the hunger pangs and not well assimilated, and then you start to see the new and the new skin coming. Super Green Food Plus and K salt, what are they? Super Green Food is a upgraded proprietary complex of new life formula, 28 superfood put together in a whole food, multi-nutrients, multi-minerals, fortified with a super antioxidant blend for very additional health benefits. So you really want to enjoy it 4 times a day into the juices on a detox time. But for people who are not doing detox or they are in the process of doing maintenance, they can take this like 2 times a day as well into the juice. K salt is important for eczema healing because part of the itch that comes got to do with salt. We're eating too much. So when eczema patients eat out one meal, or eat ketchup, oyster sauce, and a lot of salty diet or potato chips, they will realize that the skin tend to itch more and become very dry. And that's got to do with, sodium. Salt is not supportive for eczema. In fact, it's one of the trigger for eczema, itch, and dryness as well. So putting K salt in a whole food form, 1/4 teaspoon into the juice together with the super green food is one very powerful complete nutrients drink to nourish and rebuild the cells and the tissues again. So it also helps us to take away the water retention. You saw Miss Chu's finger and the hand. So much of the water retention, I do believe it's got to do with the hormonal imbalance as well. So after taking the K salt, right, you could see that her water retention was gone. It helps to replace and balance the electrolyte, regulate our kidney functions, prevent coughs and cold, chest congestion, and strengthen our immune system. So juicing is one big part of us, for us who are doing natural healing. Nothing beats juicing. It's a very, very concentrated phytonutrients with all the natural whole food-based nutrients easily absorbed. Multivitamins, minerals, antioxidant, and a lot of life enzymes. So do attend our session next week. Lisa will be teaching you how to do juicing for health and healing, including eczema. Tissue building is important because remember one of the reasons for skin healing got to do with the protein, the protein layer on the skin being damaged. So when we are able to put in a plant-based protein in a form of phytonutrients as well through spirulina. And the other thing about spirulina, whether a person is doing detox or not, I would put spirulina as one of the top listing of the nutritional whole food supplement for optimum nutrition because of the beta carotene, because of the green pigments. The chlorophylls are very high, and therefore it's one of the top healing food for many conditions, including eczema. And spirulina is also one nutrient that is to heal the leaky gut because it's very soothing. Is what we do for very, very sensitive gut. So it's a very important aspect of nutritional intake for tissue building. So once the tissues are strong, then the invaders are the bacteria, the infection on the skin, and the itch will start to taper off. And that's because the skin layering, the healthy cellular renewal of the skin tissues have been restored. And a big part got to do with carrot juice and spirulina because remember of the beta carotene. So it's a protein that is plant-based, very, very digestible, more beta carotene than carrot. So can you see how why we are seeing so fast in the restoration of health when we put carrot juice and spirulina together for eczema patients? Yeah, a lot of vitamin E, so it removes the scarring. Yeah, high whole food source of B12, B complex, a lot of iron. That's why taking spirulina not only heals the skin, it makes the skin very rosy and glowing. Natural minerals like calcium, magnesium, potassium, and many. Richer than gamma linolenic acid than evening primrose. So it's no wonder that the spirulina is hailed as one of the top superfood in the world. 10 tablets, 4 to 5 times a day during detox, or you can enjoy it anytime, like 1 to 2 times a day, even after the detox, or 1 teaspoon powder equals to 10 tablets. Flaxseed oil, I mentioned the importance of it. Very, very essential. It's so essential. Therefore, the name suggests essential fatty acid, because the body simply cannot produce it. We need supplement. We need to take it from our food sources, right? And the top of the list is flaxseed oil. Anti-allergy, anti-inflammation, important for eczema healing, strengthen the immune system, hormonal balance, brain booster, and anti-cancer as well. So that's the reason why we only allow only one type of oil that our cancer patients doing the New Life program will take, and that's the flaxseed oil, 2 times a day. Yeah. Step 3, detoxify the liver. Remember, once you take care of the colon, you take care of the liver, more than 80% of the body is being rejuvenated. The rest of the 20% are just the nutrients that I mentioned to you. So there are 2 steps towards eczema healing for liver care, is to rebuild and strengthen the liver. By the time a lot of people come to us for help, they would have taken a lot of steroid. That means to say the kidneys and the liver to a large extent have been compromised, or even to the extent damaged already. So it's very important to target and put a main focus on the liver recovery. So I want to explain 2 steps. One is the liverine, to rejuvenate and rebuild the liver, and the other one is to detoxify the liver, called coffee enema. Liverine is 5 herbs into 1. Dr. Lin's proprietary formula. Rebuild your liver cells, remove toxins, powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. Remove or reverse the liver toxins, reverse the liver damage due to alcohol, medication, including steroid. It stimulates the liver to increase the bile, and therefore it helps to carry the waste and break down fats during digestion. So it's very important. Part of the program that we have for this detoxification, it includes 1 capsule 3 times a day, and it's important for eczema patients as well. So the next step is on coffee enema. Enjoy the power of healing and anti-inflammatory aspects for blood and liver detoxification.
What is coffee enema? The purpose of the coffee enema is to detoxify the liver and the blood. It has been used since the early 1900s as an effective method for detoxification and reducing inflammation in the body. Why is detoxification important? Each day, our body is exposed to toxins of all kinds, both from external sources and internal sources. Health experts estimate that over 90% of cancers and other chronic disease are due to poor diet and toxins in the body. The liver is responsible for cleansing toxins from the blood. However, over time, its ability is reduced, and often the liver is damaged or depleted from having to deal with the daily onslaught of toxins, causing these toxins to be retained in the body. How does it work? When the coffee enters the colon and is retained, it is transported from the colon to the liver by hepatic portal veins. The caffeine from the coffee causes a dilation of the bile ducts, which facilitates the elimination of the toxic breakdown products from the liver and the toxins from the blood out of the body through the colon. Theophylline and theobromine from the coffee also aid in the toxins elimination process by dilating the blood vessels and countering inflammation in the gut. The palmitates found in coffee stimulate the production of the master antioxidant glutathione S-transferase in the liver by up to 700%. This powerful antioxidant helps to neutralize free radicals that cause inflammation and cellular damage throughout the body. Free radical damage is one of the key causes of many chronic and degenerative diseases, such as premature aging, heart disease, and cancer. Finally, the fluid of the coffee enema in the colon stimulates the intestinal peristalsis and helps to transport all the eliminated toxins from the liver and the blood out through the rectum. As all the blood in the body passes through the liver about once every 3 minutes, the coffee enema is like a form of dialysis of the blood, cleansing the blood approximately 5 times within the 15 minutes that it is retained. To do the coffee enema, you will need an enema bucket or enema bag. Organic enema coffee, which comes in either powder or sachet form. Organic extra virgin coconut oil. An S-hook or hanger. Coffee preparation. Bring to boil 3 tablespoons of coffee powder or 1 coffee sachet in 2 to 4 cups of distilled water. Simmer for 15 minutes. Strain if using powder form. Administering the coffee enema. Check that the coffee solution is at body temperature. With the stop valve of the enema set closed, fill the enema bucket or bag with the coffee solution. Release the stop valve and allow the coffee to flow into the tube. Stop the valve once the tube is completely filled and check to ensure that there are no bubbles. Hang the bucket 2 to 3 feet above the body, such as on a doorknob, with the S-hook or hanger. Lubricate about 2 inches of the end of the tip generously with coconut oil. In a half squat position or laying on your back, insert the tube into your rectum just past the second hole found on the tube. Relax while you do this. Lie on your right side. Release the stop valve. This will allow the coffee to flow gently into your colon. Once the bucket is empty, close the stop valve and pull out the tube. Retain the coffee for 12 to 15 minutes while laying on your right side. When the 15 minutes is up, or when you feel like you are unable to retain any longer, go to the toilet and release the coffee. Selecting the right coffee. Selecting the right coffee to use is very important. Coffee must be lightly roasted and organically grown. Espresso, instant, and decaffeinated coffees should not be used. The coffee should be fine to medium ground. New Life's organic enema coffee is grown on their own plantation located in the semi-wild surroundings of the Borneo rainforests. The plantation is certified organic by the Malaysian Ministry of Agriculture. Unlike gourmet coffee, New Life organic enema coffee is specially processed and lightly roasted to retain its optimum antioxidant and detoxification properties.
Coffee enema has been one of the best friends of eczema patients. Every time I hear people telling me whenever they have a flare-up, they in the past they were taking steroid and antihistamine. Now they know better how to manage it. And one of the things that they quickly will do is to help themselves with the coffee enema because it's anti-inflammatory to detoxify the blood and the liver. Basically, when part of the management of the itch got to do with the body lacking in the enzyme, and therefore food allergy is very common for eczema patients. When they start taking the meat, they start taking the peanut, and sometimes the peanut just touch their lips and then they break out into a very bad allergic reaction. It has got to do with the lack of enzyme. So whenever there is a flare up, all right, just remember that it's got to do with the insufficient enzyme causing the allergic reaction. Just put in the right enzyme to quickly break up the histamine through the New Life PA enzyme, and it's got to do with partially or poorly digested food that has got fermented, that got fermented and putrefied into the gut. So the skin healing or any kind of degenerative diseases, right, look into your enzyme intake. So your enzymes come from the salad, the fruits and vegetables, take from your apple cider vinegar, your PA enzymes, and also your juices as well. So this is a New Life PA enzyme. I will not go into the detail, but this is can be or should be added in as part of the remedy for people who are doing eczema, in addition to Dr. Lin's program, which I'll explain to you later in a bit more details. Now, I know that people are in a hurry to always go reach out for histamine or steroid. So the natural way to get your body into this antihistamine to shut down the histamine or allergic flare-up reaction is to quickly reach out for your enzyme. New Life PA enzyme is really amazing, systemic enzyme, 1 teaspoon 4 times a day, and you take it with your vitamin C. So enzyme and vitamin C kind of becomes your natural antihistamine. So I'm hoping that you can slowly, or as soon as you can manage well, then you know that your itch is well managed, and therefore there's no need for you to be very dependent on antihistamine that has got a lot of side effect in that sense. Stress is one trigger of eczema as well. So remember to take your vitamin B complex because it calms down your nervous system, anti-stress. It will shut down the cortisol release from your adrenal gland. And that's why when people have exam, they are very stressful at their work. They find that their eczema is really at their worst. So do not neglect the stress part of it. And you also help to promote digestion. You can actually take it with your vitamin C and PA enzyme as well whenever you find that you're stressed and the stress is giving you the eczema flare-up. This is an amazing concoction: coconut oil, castor oil, and wonder oil. I have a booklet where I write down all the details on the concoction and remedy. You can write in to request for a booklet for this copy. We will be more than happy to send it to you. If you can manage your eczema this way and incorporate it into this very deep moisturizing anti-itch, kill the fungus, kill the bacteria, and also to a very soothing, very deep moisturizing. No wonder one of my the moms whom I help with the young girl getting well, she called this Renee's times because instead of reaching out for chemical field moisturizer or steroid, right, a lot of people who choose to get well from eczema, itch, and moisturizing, they will rather concoct their New Life botanical topical application for that purpose, using extra virgin coconut oil, New Life castor oil, very deep detoxifying, and then moisturizing and lymphatic stimulation as well. And of course, the wonder oil kills the fungus, bacteria, and the itch as a result of the complications on the skin for eczema. Whenever the itch comes, jump on the trampoline because the rebounding exercise, just a few minutes of 4 or 5 times a day will do. When you bounce on the rebounder, you are actually helping yourself to drain out the lymphatic, to help yourself with lymphatic drainage. And the itch got to do with acidic waste coming up through the skin and the lymph nodes. So that's the reason why jumping on the trampoline is one very anti-itch management for people with eczema. Environmental toxins, you want to take out all the chemical fit one. Consider changing a household to New Life's organic, biodegradable soap, your shampoo, your detergent powder, your detergent dishwash and all that. Because all this inhaler, air pollution, dust mite, yes, be very careful. Vacuum your mattress very regularly and buy a anti-dust mite covering for your beddings. Avoid the mold and animal dander as well. Skin irritation, sweat, nylon cloth, nickels, chemicals, and stress, as mentioned. It's very important to change a lifestyle where you have into a lifestyle where you have enough rest to allow the body and the liver to heal. Work, rest, play balance. So avoid in a very stressful environment. Exercise, like I mentioned, there are different exercises that you can do, jogging, brisk walking, and of course the top of the list will be trampoline for that reason I mentioned, to manage the itch because of the lymphatic drainage when you bounce on the trampoline. So I'm coming to an end, and I'll share with you two stories of people getting well. This is a program or summary where people can do the Dr. Lin's detoxification program, like what I've mentioned today. But if you find that the left-hand column, which is a full detoxification with 2-time coffee enema, is not something you can do, you can actually opt for a very simplified one called the mini detox. Or even, where you don't have time to do detox, but you have to do something about your health, you can actually choose to do the clean and build, which is what most of them will do after the detox. And then while they are getting on healing on the skin, they continue to maintain the clean and build. Or some people say, they just want to do colon cleansing. You can do it, take baby steps as well, right? So I want to share with you this fresh from the oven. I just got this picture last night from Matthew's wife, who has graciously offered to say next time they are okay to come on video to share their testimony. Matthew came to see me December 2019. When I saw him, I was shocked because I was concerned that he may get into this staph bacteria, which is a very extreme kind of blood poisoning. And at one look, I know that this is a steroid treatment. It's a side effect of the steroid. And then the wife said, I cannot remember how many years he has been, for the longest time since I remember, he has been on various, topical steroid treatment. So he already knew coffee enema, but didn't do it within a proper protocol, and doing once a week, once or twice a week, that kind of thing. So I evaluated the whole thing. I said, well, you're very deficient in your body. This coffee enema need to be done within a proper nutritional guide. So he didn't need convincing, because he was already like at the wit's end and what to do already, So in January, he took leave, year-end clear leave, right? So he did about the wife told me that he did about 3 to 4 weeks of Dr. Lin's detox, not fully, but he tried his best to cope with it. And when the itch was very intense, he tried to do about 3 coffee enema a day maximum, or other day, just do 2. Within 3 weeks, or less than 4 weeks, no more steroids. So I confirmed with the wife last night, he has not needed steroids since then. I think that is one major breakthrough, because people don't see, they cannot see the possibility of being weaned from steroid, become very dependent on it. Then January 8th, which was just yesterday, can you see that the skin is well? So I asked Lydia, the wife, I say, how many % would you say Matthew is healed? I would say 90 or 90%, but it's considered very good, because Matthew has to work and he's still eating he tried to eat healthy, but he's not able to keep up with it. But the wife told me that right now, Matthew is still maintaining the clean and build, which is simple 2 times a day, and coffee enema 1 to 2 times a day. Can you see that December, his skin was so bad on the hand part? So when he had healing reaction, even January, that part on the wrist become very, very stubborn. So I was told that those skin part that was at the worst was the part that he repeatedly applied the steroid cream. So you know how toxic, it was that went to the bloodstream. So it was taking more time than other parts to heal. But today you see that he's highly functional. Look at his skin, it's like almost healed. What you see is not eczema already. What you see is actually basically some scarring that I told her just apply the coconut oil, the castor oil, and if there's itch, just add in the wonder oil, right? This is baby. A baby can get well from eczema as well. Renee was about 2+ when she was sent on emergency to see me by her pediatric doctor in private practice in downtown Orchard area. Hospitalized, I think it was Maui. Then she had eczema from young. You can see before how she started as a young baby. The skin was so bad on the cheek, on the buttock, on the vagina, on the feet and all that. So when she got into very severe breakout, they had to put her on steroid in the hospital because she developed a scarlet fever. So at the last minute, the doctor say, this pediatric doctor say, let me send you to Lydia. Why don't you ask Lydia to help so that you don't have to be putting her on long-term medication? So I just changed a few things. I say, okay, the gut, put in, too young, there's no need to take the herbal cleanse even. I say, put in the intestinal flora, too much antibiotic already. Spirulina, flaxseed oil, enzyme, vitamin C, juices, and that's it. Within a very short period of time, he need not he was sorry, she was need not take a steroid. Then one day the grandpa forgot that she was allergic to peanut. It was a weekend, give her peanut, and she was really having a very bad breakout. So on Sunday morning 7 something, I got an emergency SMS from the mom and say, Lydia, what to do? No, I really don't want to give her steroid. Can you tell me what to do? So I said, you intensify the vitamin C, the juices, spirulina, and also enzyme, very important to shut off the cortisol release or the histamine release. Then I say, topically, do you have this tree oil, wonder oil, coconut oil, and castor oil? She said, unfortunately, no. And today is Sunday, New Life is closed. So I said, never mind. I have these small bottles. Do you mind coming to my place for Sunday early morning? She drove from Hougang all the way to west side of Singapore, long distance. The next day, she told me that, oh, Renee, this concoction, the ointment, works like a charm. For the longest time, I have not seen Renee sleep so well over the night. She'll be scratching till she bled. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you that the body is able to heal. So eczema to me is not incurable. But of course, I'm not here to promise you healing. I'm here to provide the resources and the education for you. You take this, and I hope that you will get well from eczema. So this is another classic, antibiotics and steroid, 36 years. Did our detox, got worse first, and then got well. Can you see? That's the feet, and then the finger became brand new again. And that part in the middle is at the worst because that was where the injected steroid was given near the, in between the fingers. So that's, again, I keep saying, healing one after another. So ladies and gentlemen, I've come to an end. These are the resources I have provided. I can give to you if you want to put in a chat box or put in an inquiry email. The DRP booklet, the handout for adults version and children's version on all the A to Z on the whole guide, that a lot more details than what I've shared. And also a booklet on natural remedy for common ailment. If you'd like to have a copy of this, please feel free. We'll be more than happy to share with you, okay? So you have a decision to make. I think for those of us who know of people with eczema, or if you are in this session and you're looking for a solution, you have a choice of either treating the symptom, suppress them with drugs, and suffer needlessly and see no daylight. And that's what happened to a lot of people. Or treat the body, deal with the root causes, get well, and really stay free, eczema free for life. I have witnessed, so many people repeatedly getting well. So I hope it's something that you can think about. I'll end with this. Dr. Lin Tan, the mother of natural healing of New Life. Remove what is bad, put back what is good and natural. Let the body do what it's built to do, that's to recover and to rejuvenate.